Hey guys, we are going to read Chapter 5, The Truth. So you're going to turn to page 43 and you're going to quiet read and track the words as I'm reading. So turn to page 43, Chapter 5, The Truth. Here we go. Ready? Mary, the president said, but she wouldn't. I trust her. Zachary, she has seen my dress, and I know we told her where we were going for our honeymoon, Casey's mom said. The president shook his head. No, I've known Mary for years, he said. Could she have told someone without meaning to? Marshall asked. Maybe she was just talking and she accidentally blabbed everything. It happens. I find that hard to believe, Lois said. I think someone is spying on us. We have to find out who. Turn the page. I have an idea, Casey said. The president rubbed his temples as if he had a headache. Where are your temples? On your head. Oh, I lost my place. um, the president rubbed his temples as if he had a headache. Tell me, I'll try anything to get to the bottom of this, Casey explained her idea. I like it, the president said. A minute later, he stood up, crossed the room, and opened his door. Arnold, may I speak to you in here, please? Yes, sir, Arnold said with a hoarse voice. He stepped smartly into the room and stood at attention. George the cat followed Arnold inside and flopped on the rug under the president's chair. Relax, Arnold, the president said. I just want to tell you something so you're not taken by surprise. Because of all this unwanted publicity, Miss Corcoran and I have decided to elope. After we're married, we will just disappear for a short honeymoon. Arnold's eyes widened, but he didn't say a word. Please keep this to yourself, Arnold, the president said. It's absolutely top secret. You may go now, and I hope you're taking something for your cold. Yes, sir, I am, Arnold said. Then he snapped off a salute, about face, and marched out of the room. How did I do? The president asked. You did great, Lois said. One down, one to go, the president said. He picked up his phone and pressed a button. Mary, would you come in for a minute, please? The vice president walked into the office through another door. She smiled at Lois and the kids. Yes, Mr. President? I have some news about our wedding, the president said. Casey was sitting behind the president. She saw him cross his fingers behind his back. I hope this Darla Darling business hasn't made you change your plans, Mary Kincaid said. Actually, we have made new plans, the president said. Lois and I are going to elope. We'll be gone for a few days. Mary Kincaid raised her eyebrows at the news. We are the only five who know, the president said. He grinned at his vice president. And we don't want Darla Darling to be the sixth. Of course, sir, Mary Kincaid said. She closed an imaginary zipper over her lips. Fine, the president said. I'll let you know more as we work out the details. Thank you for confiding in me, Mary said. She nodded and left the room. George walked over with the vice president rubbing against her ankles. I feel like a lying skunk, the president said. When the door closed, nobody likes to lie, Lois said. But if this information makes it into Miss Darling's column, at least we'll know either Arnold or Mary is our spy. Yeah, the president grumbled. My personal guard or my vice president? Great. The next morning, still in her slippers, Casey took the elevator down to the lobby of her building. She opened the newspaper. She hoped the newspaper have arrived. They had. A small stack sat on the table outside the elevator door. Casey snatched the top one and jumped back in before the doors closed. She found Darla Darling's column and grinned. Instead of going back up to her apartment, Casey got off at Marshall's floor. She rang his bell as she looked at what Darla had written. Marshall came to the Marshall came to the door barefoot, wearing Spider-Man pajamas. "Good morning, Spider-Man," Casey said. "Read this and get dressed." "Can I finish my breakfast first?" Marshall asked. "Sure, but hurry up, okay?" Marshall padded to his kitchen with Casey behind him, rattling the newspaper. Marshall sat and spooned up his cereal. "It is in there," he asked, pointing his spoon at the paper. Casey nodded and slid the paper in front of Marshall. There was Darla's smiling face beneath her picture, and bold headline read, "President and fiancé plan to elope. Watch my column for more." "Oh my gosh," Marshall said. "We're right. It is Arnold or Vice President Kincaid. The president is going to flip." "That's why you have to hurry up," Casey said. "We have to find the snitch before he or she ruins my wedding." That's the end of chapter 5. So now I want you to look at your packet and you're going to answer the questions. It said, what did the president and Lois do to catch the vice president or Arnold spying? So remember what they did before the paper came out. So the day before, what did they do? They called each of those people into where and told them what. That will be your answer. The next question: do you see any problems with their plan? So they told. Do you see any problems with their plan? So their plan was they told two people the same thing. If the information landed in the paper, how would they know? Could that be a problem? So I want you to write what that problem would be. And the last one, describe how else they may have figured out who was the spy. So what else could they have done? Everybody's answer is going to be different here, because if you could change that, how would you, what would you have done to prove they were the spy? Okay, I don't want to see the same answer, so don't copy up each other. If you have any questions, let me know.